let's get into it, because I know a lot of people are tuning in and want to hear what I got to say about McDaniel. First of all, at no point in any of my rants on Sunday did I ever say fire McDaniel. No point. No point. But we got idiots all over on Twitter, and Orlando's already wants to fire him and he wants to get rid of the. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I like McDaniel a lot, actually. Okay, now let's compartmentalize, because it's what fans can't do. Okay, remember, you can't do this. When I told you Flo was getting fired in the middle of a winning streak, you're freaking out on me. Oh, he's just looking for clicks. I don't look for clicks. I don't need them. I don't work for any corporations, dude. I don't work for Sports Illustrated or Channel 7 or the Miami Herald or the Sentinel or the Post or Channel 4 or ESPN or NFL Network. I don't work for anybody except me. And thank the Lord, I am super blessed. I don't have to chase after that stuff. I call it like I see it. Okay? So I had people freaking out on me. How can you say Flo's going to get fired? This, that, because you're not seeing the big picture. You're in the middle of the win streak. You didn't see what happened the first half. So my point with Mike McDaniel is you have to start questioning whether you have the right guy. Unfortunately, this is just the way it's going to start. That's what they're doing at the top right now. Because at the top, they gave him the talent. He has more talent than any other head coach in the Miami Dolphins history has ever had, until you go back to the Shula days, deep into the Shula days. He has more talent than every other coach before him. He has the most balanced offense and defensive talent, depth that this Miami Dolphins franchise has had in a long time. And he's screwing up games. And he, believe it or not, even with the 11 wins, he has underachieved. Okay? Right? He and his players have underachieved even with the 11 wins, and that's what they're looking at above. Just like when you're in the middle of the win streak with Flo and you think things are well, up above they're saying, well, what happened to the first 6, 7 games where you went 1-6? Why did you do that? Why'd you do that against all the good teams, and now you're beating all the shitty teams? You're out of here. So I'm not telling you he's getting fired. I don't want him to get fired. There's no shot he will get fired. I never said he would get fired. But I will say this. He is now putting himself on the track to get fired. You refuse to adjust. By the way, Mike McDaniel has no counterpunch. Unless you wait a whole year and then he can reset for the Chargers and then he has a counterpunch. But in a game when he gets punched in the mouth, he has no counter. There is no adjustments. Okay? And unfortunately, the guy can't win a challenge. You know, and he makes a lot of bad in-game decisions. Does he know the quarterback position? Hell yeah. Does he know offense? Hell yeah. Does he know offensive line with him and his staff? Hell yeah. There's a lot of positives. He's super likable. Yeah. But unfortunately, big moments, he's not ready for them. All the time. Almost every moment. The Dallas one was the only one. And the Dallas one, he fucked that one up too. He didn't take the 3 points early, which was the difference in the game. Once again, a stupid decision early. Take the 3 points, bro. And you needed him at the end. And if you didn't get that final drive, you lose. What happened to the 3 earlier? It's bad coaching. He's down by like 20-something points. on Sunday, and he goes for a 2-point conversion. At that point in the game, take the point. Don't make it harder on your team by going for 2. You don't need to go for 2 right now. The math doesn't require it now. Take the point. Now you failed the 2-point conversion. Now you're behind another point. It's constantly bad coaching. Constantly. Mixed in with all the greatness and the brilliance, there's a lot of stupidity involved. Unfortunately, playing Chubb late, stupid. Just stupid. Playing Tua late, stupid. Game's over, bro. Get people out of there. He does a lot of dumb stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you is, because those of you that are ultra sensitive out there, okay, this is you next year. Remember, I do things ahead of everybody else. Okay? Everything I do is ahead of everybody else. Before anybody ever thought of having the balls to say fire Dale Talon, I did it. Okay? Why? Because I saw what was coming, and then I'm trying to like open the door for everybody and say, hey, bro, you got to have the balls and say Dale Talon's not good enough anymore. I don't give a shit what he did in Chicago. You know, sometimes you just have to look at things and see what they are. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? What I'm trying to tell you is he is now putting himself on track to have a hot seat next year. Because, think about this. Be honest now. Okay? Stop being a fan. Be objective. If the same mistakes continue to happen, the same ones he's committed this year, he committed last year. All of them. All of them. The only thing he changed from last year was that he dedicated himself more to the run than he did last year. But he still has his moments where he abandons the run. This year, he still does it at times, which is baffling. Okay? But my point, what I'm trying to tell you, what I was trying to tell you on Sunday, if you listen and not, oh my God, he wants to fire the coach. No. But I'm telling you, because I know what's going to happen. I've been at this for well over 30 years now. Okay? We are starting year 34 now. And well, we're starting year 34. I'm sorry, we are in 2024. This is year 34 for me. I've been at this shit for a long time. I've seen everything and anything that there is to see pretty much. If he continues to do the same things next year, it will be the hot seat. I guarantee you that. Why? Because the front office can't keep waiting for him to grow up. Can't. Did you see him at the press conference yesterday? There's no happiness. There's no joking around. There's no, because that changes. Because if what you sell doesn't work, they stop believing you. They stop laughing at your jokes. They stop thinking you're cool. You have to start winning these kind of games. And you can't look like you're fucking lost. And that's what he looks like more often than not. I hate to say it, in all the big moments. Wow, he came through for Dallas. But more often than not, he doesn't come through. And his players don't come through. And maybe it's because of his attitude. And it's, very loosey-goosey. But you have two elite receivers, listen to me, that seem to have brain farts in every single game. I'm sorry, was that Duper and Clayton? Was that Jerry Rice? I must have missed it. Are these guys dropping passes all the time and touchdowns? I must have missed that shit. Tyreek Hill lost the game all by himself this year against Kansas City, and he helped in this game this week. Waddle lost the game all by himself last year. That can't happen, dude. So is it the attitude? Is it that you're allowing people to be too loose? You got to concentrate, man. You got to get things done all the time. That's what professionals do. There's a time to F around, and it ain't on the field. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. What Mike McDaniel is creating is a problem for himself. I mean, the man cannot win a challenge. It's 2 years in. You just can't figure that out. It is calling the offensive plays and being a head coach too much for you? It's a lot for, Andy Reid. It's a lot for any experienced head coach. This is not an experienced head coach. And it shows constantly. Again, I don't want to fire him. I don't want to go through the carousel of coaches, but I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you what's developing right before your eyes. And if you're above, you can't wait 5-6 years for him to mature as a head coach. He just cost you Bradley Chubb for most of next year or half of next year. And he's still not going to be himself. Whenever he comes back next year, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb will not be themselves until the following year, 25, because they're coming back from a knee injury. You're never yourself the first year back. It's just one of those things that you have to understand and watch what's going on. And you out there, fans, right now, you're not really thinking that. But I know you. I know you well. I know you very well. I know you better than you know yourselves, actually. I know what the media is thinking. I know what's coming. He cannot do this again next year at all. He does this next year, and he's going to end up on the hot seat. That's just the way it is. Yes. Anyway, so I'm just saying, I don't know what I just did. Leave the door open. Anyway, so I don't know what I just did. My wife told me to say yes. I might have signed away my life or something. I have no idea what they're doing behind the scenes here. Anyway, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. You can't keep making all these mistakes. It won't last. It won't last for the fans. It won't last for the media. It will not last. I'm telling you now because I know next year what's coming. I know what's coming next year. And if all this happens again next year, folks, like this guy painted a picture. Oh, if you tell me week 18, we're playing for the division. Well, I'm telling you this. You lose to Buffalo, you're 2-3 to finish the season. You lose to Kansas City, you finish the season 2-4. Is that acceptable? And you lost all the important games. And the Tennessee one makes this game everything. Because you couldn't take care of Tennessee at the end with 3 minutes left. You can't keep doing this, bro. You can't. I like Mike McDaniel. I like his offensive mind. He has to learn to be a head coach. He's a play designer. He's not a head coach. Head coaches' teams don't make mistakes all the time like his does. His team is constantly making all kinds of mistakes. Pre-snap penalties overall, whatever it is. You can't get a play in on time. You can't win a challenge. I mean, it is mind-boggling to me. the stuff that goes on. And he has to clean that up. And this is all the stuff we talked about last year, and it's happened again all year long. And it's the same thing. And in the big moments, you're not ready. You're not ready. And Vic Fangio has failed in the big moments too, by the way. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And that's my point with Mike McDaniel. You know, you can't, you got to start making the kind of decisions that are the kind of decisions that assure people that you're the long-term solution. We know he knows quarterbacks and offense. Well, then what is he, just an offensive coordinator, play designer, not the guy that calls the plays? Because he really doesn't call a great game all the time either. And, you know, he has this thing where he has his quarterback focused on Tyreek too much, to the point that you injured him. You're chasing your little 2,000 yards, and you overused one guy. And now he's not even close to 100%. You could tell that he's not himself. I mean, there was that one play where he was having trouble getting up or whatever, bro. That guy's hurting. You could tell he's hurting. He's just so special that even hurting, he's still lightning quick because he's freakish, but he's hurt. And that's because you're going for this stupid 2,000 yards crap. And then you got your quarterback forcing shit to him.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.